What's the deal? It's your boy You Can't Draw Jhonte, and today we chopping it up with urban figures.
Iconic, history, legendary. Welcome to the land of the urban figures.
I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. Holla fuck the world with my chest full of smoke. I choke on my breakfast, the end of my necklace. Say Dope House Records, Screwstone, Texas.
Let's talk about the animation aspect of your drawings. You've done cartoons, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about, like, when did you transition to animation, or has it always been an idea you've always wanted to do? What was that about?
Man, it started back when I ain't know how to even animate. Before I brought my partner in, like I was on Snapchat doing like scribbles.
Yeah.
I was just voiceover record, had the screen black and draw on top of it every scene. When I was getting reactions for that, people was laughing and engaging. I was like, man,
Yeah.
I got into animation, but I didn't have all the time in the day to knock it out how I wanted to.
Right.
So with my influences like South Park, Family Guy, and everything like that,
Okay.
that's all kind of just my humor along with the Boondocks.
Right.
So when I started creating the Scribble Johnny, it started literally on Snapchat 2014 all the way to 2017. Is me drawing on the screen, doing voiceovers, and playing the speaker in the background with sound effects just to sell the illusion of what's going on.
Right.
Then when we got to animation, when I went out and recruited my boys Zap Animate, it just all started flowing together because he had more so mastered that program as I mastered Sketchbook Pro. So it just poured and blended very well.
Can we talk about that? Like just your creative process when you say Sketchbook Pro?
Yes, sir.
Is that what company is
Adobe Sketchbook Pro is a program where I got a Wacom tablet and I will draw, and everything I draw on the tablet will transfer to the computer.
Okay.
So like since like 2014, I was watching tutorial videos on YouTube how to draw in this program just because I went from a black book to digital.
Right.
And I was like, man, I love how colorful it is. I'm going to art shows selling prints, nothing selling, nothing moving, because I'm drawing what I want to draw, but I'm not doing what people are used to. And then I didn't have a good logo to attach to it.
Okay.
So before then, I had to brand myself. I wanted to create a universal logo. And let me tell some to the creators out there, if you're going to do a logo, don't necessarily put your face to it, because you want something universal that can go and fit in any room, like how Marvel and Disney is. There's no face behind it, but there's a power behind it. So I wanted the You Can't Draw logo to be a representation of a pencil, and almost every human on this earth tried to draw at least once. That's how I'm thinking.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I dig that. I dig the concept behind the logo. You know, it gives more insight.
Yeah.
So, like, when you go to create a piece, like when you think of the pieces that you relate to popular culture, like, you know, the brawl that they had on the boat, and you know, those type of things. When you make these pieces, what is your creative process? You just get an idea in your head and you're like, okay, I want to draw this to be dope. How does that work?
All my perspectives got to have some type of action or notion, emotion behind it. Okay. Emotion. Like even when I do the square up pieces on Black History, when somebody's squaring up, it's like that's like a universal pose to you're gonna get dropped regardless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you put that on historical figures and the times in which they're in, it's connecting to the present and the past. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of like the perspective that I go into it every single time of being creative. You can draw something, but what is that illustration telling? What is it doing? Like, if I'm gonna draw a celebrity, I'm gonna draw him in that interview of that funny moment he said to stick out to that person.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, oh man, you illustrated the time I said such and such. Yeah, because I listen. So you want to go surface with what you're creating when it comes to your art.
Okay, so yeah, it's Black History Month. Just what's some of the motivation behind the specific people you do draw? You know, representation of Black culture. I know you have the Rosa Parks.
Oh yeah, I love that one. One of my favorite ones, man.
Let's dig into that though. We talk about Rosa Parks, the Rosa Parks situation. Talk about what inspired that Rosa Parks piece that you got.
So with Black History, I knew I pay attention to culture, like not just our people. A lot of people like celebrating cultures that are popular and trendy. I know our culture has a richness to it because it shows a lot of struggle, strife, and prevailing. You know what I'm saying? And fighting a good fight to get into better positions. Something I can relate to. It wasn't hard. It wasn't easy getting to this point of creating a name and a brand for yourself when your surroundings and your circumstances are not pushing towards that. Right. So I'm relating to the ones before me in a different situation. So what motivated me was I'm just watching documentaries and seeing how a Fred Hampton, 22 years old, talking with just intelligence, right, and executing moves, right, unlike I've never seen before, versus your average 22-year-old is out here bullshitting. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so it's motivating me. I'm like, man.
When you study, you'll see.
You start getting motivation, and motivates you to overcome your circumstances. Right. Like, okay.
And you know what's even crazy, bro? Not to cut you off, but a lot of people don't even understand, like, these people that were like civil rights activists and really had an impact, a huge impact on Black culture. They literally were young. Most of them died young. Mm-hmm. So they didn't get a long life. So, you know, that's, you know, it's tough, and I wish more people. That's why I think the Black, you know, history pieces in are just amazing, because it's urban. You know what I mean? You make it urban. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, it's funny because before I hit everybody with Black history, it was trending topics. Right. It was funny. We all little laugh. Right. We all little laugh. We all have a good time. But can we educate ourselves too? Right. We need balance. I wanted to bring balance with my brand, because every time I seen Black history with somebody else, it's like it's a parody or a joke. Right. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, but I'm gonna dig in the surface. Like, I'm gonna teach you something. Right. I want you to take that information and get inspired, not to hate or feel any disdain towards anything, but to motivate you. Like, if that person went through that in that time frame, right, and they overcame that, ain't shit you can't do. Right. Ain't nothing you can't do in this world, man. Right. You know what I mean? So it's personal to me because it's a part of my journey. I went through things of my own of loving myself, in tune with my culture, knowing my history, and so I'm like, this is what they worked hard for. So why not remind the ones that's able to do whatever the hell they want to do today, or who really put the work in for us to get here.
What do you think about the Houston music scene? I know a lot of Dallas artists coming up. What do you think about the Houston music scene right now, and as it stands right now?
Man, I have, I ain't gonna say mixed emotions about it, because I like a piece of everything. Mind you, we just got to finish talking about Black history and positive shit, but I like hood shit too. Like, to a degree, because it gives me my John Singleton storytelling in a sense. Like, everybody, so I'm, like I say, and then the young generation with all the unnecessary killing and shit, but right, I don't jam that. I feel like it can affect the spirit. So with Houston, I fucks with Tommie. Okay. I fuck with Lonnel. I love that our city has opened a new door for new creatives. Right. It used to be so one-dimensional at one point. Right. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody trying to hear the sound. Right. Well, I thought that was my truck for a second, but I'm finna go crazy. Oh, shit. Hey, hold on, excuse me. I'm about to haul ass. Bro, my heart dropped. My man, bro. Got me fucked up. I know I ain't parked nowhere illegal. You good, So, I love it because we have our balance for music for, like, you got the Nigerians, the Southwest Side, Toby putting that message out, what we need. Right. He's showing the dynamic of family, how it's important. And then if you want to go to the club, you can go jam some B King. And if you want to drip the splash, you can jam on that Sauce Walker. There you go. You know what I'm saying? It sets different moods. And I like it because it's now balanced. It's balanced. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So what do you think about, like, when you was talking about the old school culture of Houston, you know, the school banging, swanging and banging. Mm-hmm. Didn't you do a piece with that type of vibe in there? I think the Travis Scott piece.
Astroworld. I put together because, like I say, I'm in tune with the culture. I be seeing when boys be beefing. I'm like, y'all making too much money over this petty shit. Boy, I wish I had y'all money. Millions. I wish I had y'all money, boy. I'd be, come on, let's do this. But I understand ego, pride. And I did this first. I understand it. Yeah. So my sarcastic ass humor. Right. I was like, Astroworld was a theme park. I'm gonna put everybody in a roller coaster and act like y'all get along. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You sit next to the person you don't even fuck with in real life, but y'all all enjoying the ride because what was my saying? Life is a roller coaster. Right. You have your ups and downs. So I'm like, I'm gonna put every important guy in the seat and y'all on this ride together. You know what I'm saying? And it's also just paying homage to one of our cultural staples where we had the most fun at. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We got to start having fun again.
Right. Hey, I think life gets so serious. You're right. Like
Yeah.
it takes away from the fun.
Mm-hmm.
Us having fun, and that's why we got so much killing to me. And then they making so much money. You think they should work together. I was gonna ask you though, who was like your, I guess, mentors in the graphic design, or who was like the inspiration of people that you, I guess, looked up to, or you saw their artwork and was like, okay, that's dope. I like that.
Man, well, I'm gonna start for the mainstream. Aaron McGruder, the creator of the Boondocks.
That's dope. I
Like
love
Boondocks, just I feel like Huey to a degree. I have a little bit of Huey and Riley in me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I lean more towards Huey because he was a loner, and he stayed educated to where everybody else wanted the bullshit.
Right.
Like just a little small story. Back when I used to do community work in Third Ward with my brothers in my way, and I'd be at the Shrine of Black Madonna. I was learning of myself while being the creator, but it brought me some type of richness because this information they didn't teach me nowhere.
Right.
So I connected to Huey, Stan Lee of Marvel, of course, because Marvel is marvelous. I love the storytelling, the superheroes, and everything like that. Right. And like in Houston based, I got a homie named Oliver Banks. That's an artist. I watched him do animation. He said I did an animation for a company. I took my wife on a trip to Hawaii. Right. It's like you can have the skill, but do you have the work ethic in the business now in order to get compensated properly for what you're doing? You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you on
What's
that
up?
end. How much of it is it talent and how much of it is it business? What's the percentages looking like when you, and just in your situation, what do you think?
Man, the most I did a children's book and I made like 1,500 like off a children's book, and it didn't take me long. Like when you do the calculations breaking down right at the time I did it, I got paid well.
Right.
Logos. It's the business because communicating with people and following back builds trustworthy. And then they see your accolades, so they're like, this is a reliable source. Mind you, it's tough too, because I'm like, damn, man, like I don't want to have to make my dollar. I want a product that's gonna sell. Right. I don't have to sit down and keep doing customs to eat, which is beneficial. So a lot of it is business because you got to know when to post, what you're posting about, how to navigate that traction to dollars. Because you could just go viral and then you just went viral. A lot of people came to your attention, but how can you capitalize on being viral and turn them likes and them followers into money? Because at the end of the day, you want to get some money off of it.
Right.
So if you got a strong logo and people just digging with you, like, man, I rock with what you're doing, the money start coming in. So it's always a business aesthetic, but then also being creative. I follow other brands and watch how they create it, and I took a piece of that and I put it to myself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So one last thing.
What
would be your advice to the youth? Like to anybody trying to get in the game, they might be a beginner starting off. What's a starting point for them to just help them grow? You know what I mean? Because that's what the Urban Figures is really about, to showcase, to the youth, like how they can grow and help them grow. And hopefully somebody will watch this interview and they'll be inspired, or they'll want to start taking their craft seriously.
Stay inspired. Stay around people that are creatives, because your environment also going to determine your destiny. You know what I mean? Study your craft and grow in your craft so you can be the best at it. And consistency. You gotta strike. You gotta strike when the pot is hot. When the ball is in your hand, own that. The moment might not always be there, but when you get it, you better own the shit out of it and don't let nothing get in your way. Associates, friends, family, whatever, if people are having a disdain from your growth, remove them so you can be able to stay focused to keep executing. Because if somebody don't see your vision, it's not meant for them to see it. That's your vision that you created for yourself. So study, stay consistent, and stay focused and learn. And it's okay to make mistakes. Don't feel bad if the first time you went out there, nothing bit. When I did my first art show, I had an old computer monitor that didn't go with my laptop, and I had old prints. I didn't make nothing. I spent more money, and I lost. And I had a girlfriend there that was embarrassed, and I was embarrassed. And I'm like, damn, took an L. I said, let me switch it up. Right. I did some things that people liked. I went and had a better setup. Man, I walked out with probably almost like 400 in 2 hours.
Okay.
Just because I learned from the first time. Right. Went back the second time with better equipment and better knowledge and understanding what I was doing. And I'm in that art show. Everybody's turning around like, what he doing? I'm digitally drawing and printing it out. Right. I'm doing characters. It's taking me 20 minutes. I'm charging them 25 a head. Boom, 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 boom. Then I'm selling prints. Boom, boom. So how much is that? 25. Boom, that's 50 in less than 10 minutes. And then I got more people coming. And I learned that strategy, and it was just hustle. You know what I'm saying? So figure out creative strategy and stand out from everybody else, man, and you'll start seeing results. And be mindful of who you share intel with. For real.
Well, look, man, I appreciate you for
man.
rocking with
Hey, I love it, man. On this beautiful ass day and age, man.
Hey, man,
for
look,
real.
If you in Houston, we at the Houston Graffiti Park, man. It's a lot of people out here. Show the people out here. There's a lot of people out here, man. It's a Sunday. A lot of people out here just chilling, man, enjoying the artwork, man. I'm glad that we have places and spaces like this in Houston because it wasn't always like this.
No, it wasn't. It was never this diverse at one point in time.
You know what I'm saying? And this kind of remind me. Surrell, get the camera on it real quick. This kind of remind me of like Austin. You know what I'm saying? Those type of vibes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like already. It's like, man, you know, it's good for the city, bro. You know what I'm saying? You good for the city. Hey, I don't know what you got coming for Black History Month, but hey, I
got a few pieces, bro. And those pieces you saw, they were old. These are past years, so I'm working on a few. I don't have the same schedule I have. I want to do one every single day, but I am going to put out some fire, like just to get the wheels turning, man. Just to get the wheels turning.
What's some stuff that you can just one last thing? What's some stuff that you got coming up and coming, or there's things that you want to bring into fruition?
Man, I have a creative project. You Can't Rap is a thing.
Okay.
And people ask me for years, like I want to put a creative, my perspective when it comes to music, and my short film, She Works Her Magic. And I ain't gonna speak on Scribble Johnny. Scribble Johnny is in the works behind some things to be pushed on the stronger media. So I'm just waiting for that to happen. So everything is still in play, but it's just like sometimes you gotta go back and do the groundwork to rebuild it. So everything's still in motion. It's just I'm making sure I'm doing it right this time around. You feel what I'm saying?